Hello, everyone, and welcome to the YTMCU podcast. For today's guest, I brought on the long-awaited Mr. Owen Parker.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, I finally got Owen on. Wyatt, you're next, motherfucker. Watch out. But yeah, I got Owen on. Figured it was about time.
Yeah, Wyatt signed the contract.
Sign the contract, big boy. But how you doing, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty all right, you know. Been chilling, honestly. I just got out of a college semester, so I'm glad about that. I'm on break finally.
Sure.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just trying to make some more content for the channel because we've been kind of dry, and I had to fucking post on Instagram that if I appear on, is going to be postponed until like next summer because of one scene that got deleted. It was like one of the most important ones that I can't refilm right now because of the season. Yeah, that was supposed to come out on New Year's Day, but that's not happening anymore. So yeah, man, we're gonna film some stuff here in a little bit, but I won't talk about that just yet. I want to save that for like an announcement video because there's a whole bunch of new stuff that we're doing because I'm insane.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Love that.
yeah, man, we were working on X-Force and Maximoffs, but we had to stop in both of them because they're really big projects and there's a lot of people. And a lot of people get busy, so these next few that we've been working on now are a lot smaller scale, at least until then. So.
I feel like with it being like winter break for those in school, I feel like a lot more people are gonna start being available.
Yeah.
At least during this break, like during the winter.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, it's the best thing I can do right now. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Should I actually? I don't remember. But yeah, we don't really do the podcast as much as we used to. But I actually think that's fine because it gives people a lot of time to think about what they would say and like even get more. Because like the last time people saw you in the movies was Moon Knight 4, Nemean.
Oh yeah.
That was the last role you played. And a lot of people don't know this, but that was actually before Hellcat. So Hellcat came first, and if you realize Owen wasn't in that, but he was in Moon Knight, it's because Moon Knight's scenes were filmed before Hellcat. And even though Hellcat came first, Moon Knight came after. Owen was not in Hellcat. But Owen is coming back. I'm sure y'all are happy to hear that. I haven't announced that yet, but I was going to wait until the next movie came out with a minute, but who knows how many people will watch this. So, yeah, Owen's coming back, man.
Oh yeah.
We've already filmed one really cool scene with him for another movie that I have yet to announce.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah,
Can't wait to release it.
There's a lot of good stuff. I'm going to show you that scene when we're done because I haven't shown it to you yet. I don't think.
And I haven't. So I'm excited.
It's pretty dope. But yeah, so let's just roll through the usual line of questioning that I always ask everybody. So. Who all of you played? Tell the audience here who all you played.
Well, I've played Venom.
His most iconic role.
Yes. I played Venom. I played Nemean. I played Hitler in Midnight Suns.
People forgot about that one.
Yeah. I forgot about that one. It just came out of my mouth. I played...
There's like two more I can really think of. It's like Joe from Wolverine and Orson.
Yes.
He's got a few coming up.
I forgot about Orson.
I know.
Actually.
A lot of people do, but I'm like, I love him. He's one of the best characters in that movie.
Yeah. Orson Rand.
So I guess we're going in order. What are your thoughts on every role? We'll start with Hitler, just because he was the first one. It's not a lot to say, but
I mean, it's kind of awkward saying it up. It's just painted like a black mustache on my face. But I mean, can't say that I liked it, but it was a fun role. It was a fun role.
I think it's really funny that people commented on the fact that I was like, why is Hitler so jacked? Why was he so jacked? Like, no reasoning. Who was the second one? Was it Joe? Or was it Orson?
I think it was, it might have been Orson.
Yeah, okay, we'll go over that one. That one's a bit more to talk about, because
Yeah.
you were doing that one for a while.
So. Oh, yeah. Like, a while.
Because we had to stop midway through, because of, I don't remember what it was exactly. But you basically got to do 2 different years worth of fucking work on it.
Yeah.
It was like beginning of 22 and then the start of 23. So.
I loved his powers. And I love slamming. I love slamming Brady Hasselflick. This one training scene.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. Uh, yeah, that was a really fun role. There was a lot of fight scenes I did as Orson Randall.
I bet that was your favorite part, was getting to fight and his fighting style.
Yeah, his fighting style was awesome. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved the character of Iron Fist in general, but I really like Orson's version of Iron Fist because, he has like the guns and he's like a bit more grizzled, which you know me, I like those edgy characters.
Yes.
And that's a bit more his flavor. Plus, like it was a character with like a mental illness, like the whole PTSD that wasn't Moon Knight, because like a lot of characters that we'd seen up to that point were like pretty normal, except for him. I mean, he's like off the fucking deep end. But to see like another character, that kind of way was pretty nice. Was it hard to play that kind of character, or did it just come naturally to you?
Well, I hate to say this, but it kind of came naturally. It was very fun though in that aspect.
Yeah,
Like,
I love Orson as a character. I think he's freaking badass.
yeah,
He's badass. I love his origin, like the way Brady did a really good job writing that character, and you just played it so well.
You just gotta play like pretty much a drunk.
Yeah.
Who had PTSD, former soldier, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you just have to think of like the grizzled veteran who just so happens to have like martial arts superpowers.
Yeah.
That's basically Orson. What's your favorite moment as Orson? Both on set and in the movie.
Ooh. That's a tough one.
I could think of my favorite on set one. Do you remember when we had to light that Molotov?
Yes.
You were like, "Alex, can you light it for me?" You didn't want to light yourself on fire.
Also, my favorite part in the movie was probably just setting the whole pile on fire because it was just so epic.
I love that scene so much.
Yeah,
the song that I picked for it, just the framing, what it means to the story too.
Yes,
I love it.
I feel like my acting also. I kind of impressed myself with the acting in that scene.
That's what really showed me that you were like taking it seriously. Because like I love I love the way you play him. I like the whole element of his mental illness. I think you pulled it off really well.
Thank you.
But you weren't too over the top, and you also weren't too flat. So it was like right, perfectly in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to Joe. Not a lot to say about Joe. What do you think of that?
Very funny. I loved. I especially loved kind of collaborating with Wyatt.
Yeah, I was like, you guys filmed in Wyatt's house.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
It was very interesting. I remember watching it. I remember watching the scene, and I remember pouring the apple juice. Just hear someone go, like when we're all watching the movie, I just hear someone go, "Is someone pissing in that cup?"
I think that might have been me, actually. I didn't know what the hell was going on there for a second. They took my eye.
Yeah,
if Isaiah Blair was here right now, he'd find that very funny.
They took my eye.
How did it feel filming in Wyatt's house?
It was new.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to like kind of keep cats out of that one room.
Oh, Pretty Boy.
Yeah, we had to keep Pretty Boy out.
Pretty Boy is Wyatt's really chunky cat, by the way.
Yes, Mr. Chonkers. There's
a movie that we're working on soon that we're going to film at his house, and for the behind the scenes, I will record him for you, just so you know what he looks like.
Pretty Boy Chonkers.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
I love paying him.
He's great, man. He's a great cat. We actually just filmed a movie. I filmed a movie with Wyatt at his house recently. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a horror movie, the one that he made.
I have not.
Well, I'll show it to you later. It's like a little 6-minute short film.
Okay.
But I'm like the main character. He's the villain. It's pretty cool. First time filming at his house too. First time I really was like actually at his house, like in his house.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I could never really like walk in there that much.
Huh.
Like I went in there to use the bathroom one time, but most of the time I was outside his house waiting for him to pick him up. I was like, but all right, let's move on. I want to talk about one of them last, just because it's the cool one. Let's talk about Nemean next.
Nemean?
Yeah, vampire, big, thick vampire motherfucker. I
Uh,
just feel like playing him. I'm sure you had a lot of fun with that.
I love the costume design.
I think for wearing a fucking suit of pink armor, like you could not be more badass.
Yes, I loved it so much, and it just really brought out. Not only was he bloodthirsty, you could just tell that he was one bloodthirsty guy.
No, dude. Um, I feel like the way that you portrayed him, you could almost just tell that, like, without even knowing his powers, he was like physically the strongest. Just like the way that he acted and like how his whole personality was like he just wants to like tear people apart.
Yeah,
That's like that dude's just packing some like muscle.
for,
He's got some strength on him. I personally loved writing the character. The comic that he came from, he really wasn't even that important actually. That's the same with the other two as well. Like they really weren't even that didn't do much. They both died. But I was like, I want to make them like actual characters. Like I just want to like
give them a real name.
because there's so much potential.
Of course.
Because like I mean, what I love about Nemean and Grand Mal is because like most vampires in fiction, I'm saying most, not all of them, because obviously you have people like Dio, Alucard, those guys who are like really like colorful, and most vampires just look boring.
Yeah.
Like they just wear like pure black, gothic, white skin.
Like cliche.
Yeah, but then Nemean's like this giant buff dude wearing like a pink suit of armor, got a lion on it, that little like the teeth logo, like, and then you've got Grand Mal who has like this like electric orange armor, and Bloodhunter who's got like the red cloak and shit. Like they're just so unique for vampires, and that's why I was like, I'm not gonna waste these characters. Like I could do so much with them. It's like that's one thing that comics does right is like you could take a concept like a vampire or a zombie, something that like has always looked the same. You just make whatever you want.
That's gotta be a whole different experience in the writing world.
Sure,
Just making characters that you didn't think had like a real name to them, and basically just adding one.
dude, I do that all the time. Like so many characters in the YTMCU have become who they are because I was like, these characters look cool, they have certain factors to them, but like they just have never been used enough.
Yeah, like utilized.
Sin Eater, I mean, shit. He had one story back in the 60s, and I made him like our most popular villain because I was like, this guy has so much potential. I mean, he's literally just a dude with a shotgun and some like strange abilities, but like you could make him something else. Like there's certain characters that they just do not even bother with that I wish they would. Nemean and Grand Mal and Tudor were all those characters. Like you could totally have done like a whole story with them. And if I don't know if you know this, but like in Marvel Blood Hunt, it was like an event that happened recently. They brought back the structure and like had like a whole bunch of vampires to fight Moon Knight and the Avengers. But like those three were not involved. Like they were all dead, so they weren't included. But I was like, those three could have been some serious, serious armor. Like you got the vampire with electricity powers, a vampire with super strength, and a vampire whose powers we didn't even get to find out, like how strong he was. But like in my version, I was like, we see Nemean can rip people's arms off of their fucking bodies. Grand Mal can shoot lightning out of his hands. Bloodhunter's a master assassin who cannot even be faced in combat. And Tudor, he's super intelligent and at full potential with the powers of La Magra. He can like create tendrils from his body and like do all this crazy shit. That's what I love about vampires. Is like there was so much you can do with them, but like most forms of media choose not to. Like they just they bite people and they suck blood and they run fast, kind of. But like in my verse, I was like, you should be able to make vampires different. Like I mean, look at Blade. He has vampire powers, but he's also like a master assassin, and he can do all this crazy shit. And I was like, I'm gonna give Nemean some. He's gonna be super strong, indestructible body. He's gonna be bulletproof. His whole thing is gonna be, he's almost like Sabretooth in a way. He's vicious. He loves to attack. He's a ruthless guy, and he doesn't suck blood from people's bodies like most vampires would. He fucking rips their arms off and then drinks their blood from their muscles. Like he's violent with it. And Grand Mal, he's not bloodthirsty. He's very relaxed and patient, and he strikes and uses electricity to like blow people apart, and then he drinks their blood. Or like they all, of course, drink blood because they're supposed to, but like not in just the I bite your neck and I suck your blood. It's like a different way of doing it. Like that's one of the things I love about Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna reference it. I don't know if you probably don't know this, but he's a vampire who has the power to stop time.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
The world, yeah, it stops time. But the way he sucks blood is he has these claws on his fingers. He can literally sucks your blood out through his fucking fingers.
No way.
Yeah, he literally like grabs you by the throat and like sucks your blood out through his fingertips, and it goes into his body.
That's insane. I love that.
I'm like, that is so way much more interesting and unique than just biting someone on the throat. Like Alucard from Hellsing. I don't know if you've ever heard that. You should totally watch that if you're into like darker anime, which is that's a dark show. Every time he licks someone's blood, he absorbs their soul. It's like he like gains like the powers of all these different people who like soul he absorbs,
Yeah.
and like by the end he can expel all of those people's souls into like this giant bloody wave of zombies. He controls them. Like I'm like vampires could like when you really put your mind to it, you can make a vampire way cooler than just I bite people when I suck their blood.
That kind of reminds me of the end of Solo Leveling. I'm not going to spoil it, but have you seen Solo Leveling?
I've not.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it, but that reminds me of something that happened at the end of that show.
There might be some inspiration. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I really, I've always been very prevalent, like talking to people about like what inspires me to do stuff in like my movies, and those three vampires, like I was inspired by Hellsing and JoJo to make them more powerful. Like there's some villains coming up in the movies that you will see that are clearly inspired by Dio. Like three different characters can stop time, in all different ways. Like none of them are the same way. Like the villain that you're gonna play, his power is literally it's built in that he stops time. And then another character that Kendall plays, her power is the same, but it's on a miniature scale. Like instead of stopping time for however long, she will stop time for like 5 seconds. And another villain that I'm gonna play, his powers are based on ice. He stops time by freezing atoms in the area. So like he's not actually physically stopping the time stream, but he's physically stopping atoms from moving. So time is almost essentially stopped for everything around him. And it's unique. But yeah, man. Anything else you want to say about Nemean? I've been saying more than you, honestly. I really love that character. I just kind of yapped about him for a while, but
I'll say I love Nemean. Nemean's definitely up there for me.
Kendall really wants to bring him back in something. So
really,
I mean, he never died, so
yeah,
it could always happen. The two vampires, at least, not Tudor because he's dead, but Grandma and Nemean are always on the table because they're still alive, so it could always happen. But I'm glad you liked that character. I really enjoyed writing him, and I knew exactly who I wanted to play him, like nobody else.
Thank you, Ben.
I mean, yeah, it was fun. You oozed that charisma as I love the screams and the violence of the character, and it worked perfectly like with the way that you were trained in like wrestling and stuff. It's perfect for him because like I didn't want him to be like a master martial artist like Grand Maul. I wanted him to be like a big brute guy who just like fucking punches people and like throws them around, and it was perfect. All right, let's talk about Venom, the main man.
Oh yeah,
the one we all came here to talk about. Venom.
I love Venom. Venom was he the last one I played? I believe he was the last one I played, right?
Recently, yes.
Yes.
I didn't mean to say that. I did not mean to tell anybody that. But yeah. Cough, cough. I'm making a movie about him. Cough, cough. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Venom. He's just. Hey, Brock. Honestly, he's just a chill guy. He's just a chill guy.
I just imagined the one dude, the meme.
Yeah.
Those guy with the hands in his pockets.
His hands are in his pockets. Can't piss him off though, because Venom, yes.
Yeah, man. I love Venom. I think he's fun. Venom's one of my favorite characters. So when I was writing Spider-Man, Sins Rising, I was like, what if I like put Venom in this movie? And I was like, I got a guy that's perfect to play him. And Jack Mack was like, I'll do the voice, because Jack Mack does a really good Venom voice. I mean, y'all have heard it. It's fucking awesome. I was like, if I can combine his voice with Owen's body and Owen's performance for Eddie, we can make a perfect Venom. And then we did. And Venom was really fun in Spider-Man, and people were like, dude, I need to see more of Venom. And you're going to see more Venom, don't you worry.
Oh, yeah.
He's got several appearances. Because I love him. I love his powers. Like, he's a big brute guy that, like, rips people apart, but he can also shoot webs and has spider sense. Like, he's intimidating.
I love the big brute side of him. That's one of my favorite parts to play, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially in fight scenes. Just throw people around. That's another thing with Nemean. To go back on Nemean, throwing Brady through the door.
Fuck. Yeah, our door actually broke from that. Yeah. We had to drill it back into the fucking wall. We don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about that.
But yeah, man, you're going to be seeing a lot more of Venom. Trust me. He got a fight scene in an upcoming film against another character. And another thing, which I will potentially be talking about sooner or later. not here, but on Instagram or something. But yeah, just know that Venom is going to return. Also, we're writing more Spider-Man films, and Venom is in fucking all of them. So Venom will definitely be back and be more vicious and badass than he was before. Anything else you want to say about Venom?
Venom. I feel like I can relate to Eddie Brock, and that makes me very easy to play just Eddie Brock in general. It's because I get to just kind of be myself, and that's really fun when you get to act like someone and you get to just be yourself, but on a more intense level.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that fully. I mean, anyone that has ever talked to me on this podcast will know I have the same thing with certain characters that I play. Um, you wanna divulge into that? We can say anything we want to here, man. We'll talk about whatever. No, nothing's off the table. So if you want to talk about why you relate to Eddie, we'll do it.
Honestly, uh, I think the audience is fine on that.
Well, I mean, you don't have to go super personal, but I mean, you can.
Oh no.
I understand the idea of like wanting to hold things back,
Yes.
but at the end of the day, I mean, most of the people that watch this are like we're your friends. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's better for. I know it's something that I went through. You almost feel ashamed to talk about things like that because like, well, I'm going through this, and other people don't need to know that about me because I would. You feel like it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, I mean, it's just better. I mean, that's what like therapy is. You're telling somebody like about what you've gone through. I mean, I literally on the podcast, I have literally talked about how I wanted to kill myself and like how I relate to Moon Knight because of his mental struggles are just so intense. And like that's how mine was for so long, it was just so intense and difficult. And now that like I'm finally like feeling like myself and feeling good, like it's something to revel in, man. I mean, it really is. And so I think you should better to be proud of what you've gone through than to push it away.
So like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I joined the army, and that might have been a mistake because I went to basic training, and they kind of screwed me. Um, Afterwards, I was just, I don't know, I was more snappy. Uh, I I just wasn't all there. I haven't really been all there since before then. Uh, but yeah, it's just always like anger issues. Uh, I will say though, therapy has helped more than I can imagine, and I'm proud of that.
Bro, I mean, let's talk about that for a second. A lot of people don't believe in therapy. Like a lot of men, especially, are like, if you go to therapy, you're a fucking pussy.
Yeah, they're like, just snap like a real man.
Fuck that. Fuck that. You and I, we've been fucking martial artists. We're fighters. We're tough guys. And I mean, honestly, you don't have to fucking push your feelings down and be that kind of person. It doesn't make you more of a man. It makes you less of a man.
And you're pushing people away at the same time.
I mean, ask any woman. I mean, like we're men, straight men. You know, obviously we care what women think because if you want to have that partner for life.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife, she will not wife, fiance, whatever. Fuck it. I'm gonna call her my wife. My wife would say the same thing. She's always been a believer in that I can still be a manly guy, fully masculine, and talking about my feelings is better. Because like at the end of the day, if you tell somebody, hey, I've been going through this and I cried a little bit, I'm kind of sad about it. It doesn't make you less of a man.
Yeah.
It makes you a human, and there's nothing wrong with being a human.
It kind of pisses me off.
Sure.
Because it's like,
sure,
people are basically telling men that they shouldn't have human emotion. And it's like, well, why not? Is that not the manly thing to do? I don't understand. I'd argue that it's more manly to cry in front of your friends than to hold it back because of embarrassment.
Sure, that's some pussy shit, dude, honestly. Like, I hate when people say that. Like, you know Patty Pimblett, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
When he gave that big speech about, the mental health thing, dude, like, I was like,
yeah,
that is the manliest shit ever.
I love Patty.
I mean,
Patty's one of my faves.
A lot of pro fighters will tell you, like, therapy is good. Because a lot of people get into fighting because they have issues.
Talk to John Jones.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I did. That's the whole reason I started, because I was bullied and I was having mental issues. I had some trauma. I needed to get rid of it. And it did help, but at the end of the day, what really got me to where I am now is therapy and medication. And, consistent, talking to my friends, talking to my family, talking to my girl. I'm just talking about shit. And, like, That's why a lot of people nowadays, they just take the people they have close to them for granted. I think that's just a shame, really, because like those are the people that are gonna be there. Like, oh, and I know for a fact, if I ever needed something, I could always count on you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I would never be able to count on those people who are like, "Fuck your feelings, you don't need to talk about it." I can, if I ever really needed them in the time of need, if I was dying in my hospital bed, they wouldn't be there. You would, someone like you would, and so that's why my friends are always like, "I don't really want to talk about it." And I'm like, dude, do not, do not hold it back. Just talk about it. It's good to talk about it. I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed about. If you wanted to come on here and be like, "Hey man, I got an alcohol problem because I've been fucking sad that my ex left me," or something like that, who fucking cares? I'm gonna be like, "Hey man, I'm sorry you're going through that." Like if Dalton was on here and was like, "Yeah, my ex boyfriend left me," or blah blah blah, and I'm sad and I'm being an alcoholic and I'm just depressed. I wouldn't be like, "Oh man, fuck your feelings, you queer." I'd be like, "No man, talk to me about it, man. I love you. Like you're my dog." So when you were like, "Oh, they don't need to know," I'm like, they don't. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they don't even know, but I need to know because like I'm. And anybody doesn't know this, but me and Owen are literally blood related.
Oh yeah, we're cousins.
we're literally blood. Like I don't treat Owen as just a friend. He's my family. So like he's going through stuff. I don't care if we have to talk about it in my backseat of my car, at the restaurant, on a podcast. We can talk about it whenever. I don't care. Anyone that knows me knows I will spill the beans about anything to anyone. So if we're sitting here right now and we're talking about men's mental health therapy and all that, then it's better off that we talk about it because then it also gives the people listening to us an incentive to do the same. Because like a lot of men are like, well, if I go to therapy, my friends are going to think I'm a bitch. Like fuck them, fuck them. If they think you're a bitch for that, then fuck them.
And honestly, this sounds kind of power hungry, but if you get more powerful than they do, and then you start talking about your feelings, what are they gonna do then?
Exactly.
Nothing.
There is that as well. I mean, yeah, if you want to be that guy, fuck it. To be mentally strong and willing to talk about your feelings makes you more powerful than just being physically strong and concealing yourself. Because a lot of people that do that, they when they do finally have to let it out, they hurt people or they hurt themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It is much better to let it out when you have to let it out and people know what you're going through than one day you're just blow the fuck up on them and they don't know why. You know?
Yeah.
Like, uh, I never hold things back anymore. Because, like, I'm a scary guy, people tell me. If I get mad, I'm fucking mad. And I could hurt somebody. And, like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want. Say me and Kendall were together for, like, a year. And for 6 months, I just didn't talk about my feelings. And then one day, it all just blew up, and I got mad. I was like, shut the fuck up. I don't need to talk to you. I don't want to talk about anything. Go away. That is weak. That is so fucking weak of a person to do that. What is really strong is being every day being like, hey, I'm going through this, or hey, I'm having a good day. That's strong. That is strong to admit your feelings is strong. To keep them in, that's weak. Anyone can do that. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
It's built in. But to let them out, that's strength.
100%.
Glad you agree. Um, but if you're good on that, we can move on to something else. But if there's anything you want to say to anyone out there listening, go ahead.
Just with anyone struggling with like mental issues out there, just know that you're not alone. That you're not alone. There's hotlines. There's therapists who will gladly take you in. Yeah, you're not alone. I'm sure you have family, friends that care about you. Uh, and even if they don't, just go to the therapist. I'm sure they'll care about you and want to hear about your problems and all that stuff. So yeah.
Emma, thank you very much for saying that. I mean, people need to hear it, especially now, because mental illness is at an all-time high, and people need to know that there is outlets that do not consist of self-harm or harming others. There's plenty of ways to get over it. I actually found it. I'm gonna bring this up real quick. When I was boxing when I was younger, when I had a lot of anger issues, I find myself boxing much better and at a much more technical and proficient level with my mental health in check than I did as an angry person. Like, sure, do I hit hard? Sure, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not. Sometimes I miss the target. I get tired easy because I get so mad. I blow my load all over the place and I'm done. But if I'm all there, then like I can fight for fucking 30 minutes, and I'm still hitting hard, but not in the same way, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's better. It's better off that you just talk about things. It doesn't make you a pussy. It makes you a human. And people need to stop thinking they're perfect and trying to act like God. Like you are not. you're a fucking person like everyone else. I mean, you might as well just let it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the movie stuff. Who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero.
Yeah, like rank like a top 3 comic characters.
I feel like most of them are going to be anti-heroes.
Hey man, most of mine are. Nothing wrong with that.
Ooh.
I guess I didn't mean like hero. It could be anti-hero. I mean, either one.
I'll see person with superpower.
Yeah, villains too. Sure, fuck it.
Screw it. I'd say Deadpool is number 1 for me, honestly.
Deadpool's fun.
Yeah, love Deadpool. Number 2. Number 2, I'm gonna have to go with Venom.
Venom is so fucking cool.
Yes. Oh, number
I'm
3.
so glad they made movies about him, even though everyone's like, "Oh, that movie's sucking ass." So I'm like, "Well, yeah, would nobody know more about Venom, don't you?"
I'm gonna go with Tony Stark, Iron Man.
That's it's interesting. Those are 3 characters that people can relate to because they got mental problems. They haven't tackled Iron Man. It's in a brick, but back in like the 70s, he had a really bad alcoholism issue. They had a whole arc about it called Demon in a Bottle, which was basically about how he had to quit being a superhero because he became an alcoholic. Like he was so addicted to drinking that like he was like falling in his suit and like breaking his body, and they had to like fucking stop him because he was being a menace.
Nice.
One thing, I think my top 3 probably got to be. I mean, everyone knows these motherfuckers. I mean, it's that simple. It's Moon Knight, Sentry, and Quicksilver is my top 3. And
Okay.
like, it's funny because like we both had 2 anti-heroes and a superhero, and I know people are gonna be like, "Bro, Sentry isn't an anti-hero, dude. He literally ripped a person in half, multiple times. He's literally killed so many people. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. He literally has schizophrenia. Moon Knight, I mean, he's killed more people than I can count. Quicksilver, he doesn't kill people, but he is kind of a douche. Like, I don't know if you know anything about him, like other than like the movie.
I've seen the movie, but yeah, that's about it. Really haven't.
The comic version of him, like, you know how he's like the fastest man alive?
Yeah.
That affects his mind. Like, he is extremely impatient. Like, he hates people because like they're just so slow compared to him. It like actually pisses him off. Like, he has like severe ADHD and shit.
Dang.
And like he has like childhood trauma from his father because Magneto's his father. If you didn't know that.
I did not know that actually.
Yeah, Magneto is their dad, and so like they have like all this childhood trauma of like never having a father, and then when they did finally meet him, he was like a fucking super douche, and he abandoned them and shit. So like him and Scarlet Witch are both like, damn, fuck. Like I love Pietro. I mean, he's gone through stuff like he had a wife and then she cheated on him, and then they had a divorce, and he has an illegitimate, well, not illegitimate child, but like a child that he can't really see that much. And like, while he is like a super powerful guy, like he's also like a super relatable one because he always says that when he's talking to someone, it feels like he's behind a really slow person at an ATM. That's how he describes his entire. That's how he describes his entire life.
Dang.
He's just so much faster than everyone else, and like nothing matters. And like when he fights someone, like it's really powerful or on like an equal level with him. It's like the best thing he has.
That's
Like,
bad, man.
I was like, I find that to be so interesting. Like, that's crazy.
Just being impatient, I can see that they're so fast that you're just impatient with people.
Yeah.
Because they're just always slow. They can't keep up.
And like your body moves so fast, that like sometimes even you can't keep up with it. Like he has to eat like 30,000 calories a day because his body metabolizes things so fast. That's why he's like not really like buff. He's like lean, really lean, because his body just moves and accelerates that muscle mass so fast. It's crazy. But what all of our movies have you seen? Like all the way.
Oh.
I know you saw Moon Knight because you were there for the watch party.
I've seen Moon Knight. I've seen everyone that I was in. I've seen all the Moon Knights.
You saw Hellcat that one time I showed it to you.
Yeah. Hellcat, all the Moon Knights. All the Dragon and Tigers.
Love those ones. The first one. Fuck you, Kevin Johnson.
For real.
I'm the biggest hater. I hate the. I have multiple questions regarding all of this. Whenever you finish.
Okay. Also, that's all I remember off the top of my head.
Sorry, Sneaky's vibrating my phone because apparently I'm not busy. Shout out all those.
Oh, and Sending Her.
if you had to rank those from worst to best, what would be your rating? And yes, you can write this down.
Okay,
If
I'm
it
gonna
helps.
write them down real quick.
Because I have four questions kind of regarding them. Because I have some interesting topics.
So
First, I want to go with the worst to best.
honestly, I liked I loved Spider-Man Sins Rising a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Is that probably your top one?
Yeah.
That movie is apparently other than Moon Knight, apparently that's like everybody's top one. That's like
Really?
the number two. Brady said that, Dalton said that, I've said that. I can give you my ranking too, if that would help at all.
I would probably.
So I think out of all the ones that you listed, I think my least favorite is probably going to be Wolverine.
Okay.
Not that it's bad, but I just feel like kind of slow for the first bit, and like you don't really see a lot of certain characters. Like
I get that.
you don't really.
I didn't mind Wolverine.
I don't hate it. I mean, it's truly for me. It's like ranking the least favorite. Like I like all of them. Like it's kind of hard. But like Wolverine, I feel the fight scenes are very fun. I mean, who doesn't love that about the movie? Everyone loves that. White's a really good Wolverine. But then again, I've also seen him in the newest movies that he's been Wolverine in, and he's better. X-Force. He's been really good as Wolverine in that movie. Y'all are going to be excited to see that. Owen's in that movie too. He plays Avalanche, by the way.
Oh yeah. I forgot.
We don't have to talk about that one. I mean, haven't really talked that much yet.
Yeah.
But
Colossus.
No, that one's so bad it got removed from canon. Then it's really hard to pick, truthfully, because Sin Eater is good, but it's kind of outdated.
Yeah, you're right.
And a lot of things that it does good, Spider-Man does really good with his parts. Maybe even better than some parts of it.
I probably rank Sin Eater above Wolverine and Dragon and Tiger 1.
Oh fuck it, we were including the Dragon Tigers.
But
Okay,
yeah.
hold on. Let me just whip out all the movies real quick, and we'll just rank them.
I'll say what I've seen.
Okay, I will say what I've seen.
Though I don't really remember what happens in a lot of them.
That's valid. You guys hear that? That's crickets in my bedroom. I have crickets in here because I have lizards and I feed them. They're very annoying.
There's Moon Knight Chapter 4.
Oh yeah, that one's peak, in my opinion.
Yeah, that one's definitely top 3. Hellcat. I haven't seen Shocker.
Shocker's really good. I gotta show you that one.
Spider-Man Sins Rising, of course.
Hmm.
Wolverine Brotherhood.
Brother.
Dragon Tiger 3.
Okay.
I pretty much in Daredevil.
Oh yeah. That one's not canon anymore either. Actually, I don't know if anybody knew that. Actually, it might be. I don't know. I haven't decided. Because Brady was gonna make a new set of Daredevil movies, but then he's like, I don't really want to do them, so I'm gonna do them for him. And I don't know if I want to keep the original Daredevil movie or not. Because like, I mean, it was good.
And I've seen Sin Eater, but I don't really remember what happens from Sin, like before Sin Eater. So like anything before Dragon and Tiger 3. Any Dragon and Tiger 2.
Hold on, I'll make this easy for you. Well, this is just all the that's a lot easier.
Yeah, I don't remember anything from pretty much Dragon and Tiger 2 down.
Oh.
But I do remember some of Moon Knight Chapter 2.
So we'll just start with Dragon Tiger 2 and go up, I guess. So, That means Sin Eater is next. And that Winter Soldier. Did you watch that one?
Winter Soldier
2?
Winter Soldier 2?
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay, then I count that one. Moon Knight 3, have you seen that one?
Yes.
Okay, I'll count that one.
And I've seen the rest.
Okay.
Except for Shocker.
Dragon and Tiger 3, Wolverine, Shocker, Hellcat, MK4, and Spider-Man. Okay, so at my last place between all of these, I'm probably gonna put. You haven't seen Shocker, so I'll take that one off. Dragon Tiger 2 is gonna be my least favorite of all these.
Really?
Yeah, I think. What about you?
I put 2 over 1.
Fuck, we were counting 1. Oh, then yeah, fuck number 1.
wait.
Yeah, I'm not counting 1 either. Okay, Dragon Tiger 1.
Because I don't even remember what happens in 1.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing fucking happens in 1. Nobody likes 1. So I got 1, 2, and then I'm gonna go with Moon Knight number 3.
Really?
Yeah, I like Moon Knight 3. I mean, it was really good for the time, but the more I think about it, like, the less I like. Like, for one, the whole Doctor Strange and Sentry and Spider-Man bit, they probably should not be in that movie. Like, they were kind of forced into that one, especially Sentry. He's literally in, like, fucking 2 scenes. I would say I don't like the way I wrote Sun King, but truthfully, that is not on me. The character of Sun King is just kind of boring. The Sun King and the Truth were literally just how they were in the comic. I didn't change them like I did with the vampires, and that's part of the reason why I did change the vampires, because I felt like the other two were not interesting enough, and I kind of fuck with them.
Brady.
Brady did his best, I'll give him that. And I really like Bushman in that. Bushman was really good in that one. Not being biased towards Marlene's actress, my ex-girlfriend, but she fucking sucks as Marlene. She really was the kind of just boring, and she was a theater kid. You could tell she was overacting a little bit. But yeah, I just feel like Moon Knight 3 doesn't capture all like the darkness that the other ones do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, a lot of scenes take place during the day, which, I mean, is not bad for a lot of films, but for Moon Knight, like, it needs to be dark. Both action-wise and just, like, visually. Like, that's the one thing I love about Moon Knight 4. Like, it's almost always in darkness, the whole movie. I love it. Okay, so after... You agree with my pick so far?
Also, yeah, but I'd put Midnight 3 over Wolverine.
You put Moon Knight 3 over Wolverine?
Yeah.
Why?
I kind of like the darkness of
Really?
Midnight 3. Yeah, and there's also a lot of... Like, I'm not saying that Wolverine doesn't have a lot of action, because I also like the action.
Sure, Moon Knight 3 does have a lot of fight scenes.
Yeah, I also love the fight scenes in Moon Knight
3. Yeah. One thing we'll go about talk about after this will kind of help. But really the only thing I like more about Wolverine is, like, for one, I love the villain.
Yeah.
Played by myself, yes, biased. Ha 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 ha. But if we're comparing Sun King and Mr. X, it's Mr. X. If we're comparing Bushman and Mr. X, it's Bushman. He's just better. Sorry, me. I also like the visual style of Wolverine. Like, I feel like it just looks better.
Right?
Like, I know I complained about, like, Moon Knight 3 not being dark enough, but, like, the color grading is kind of grayish a lot of the time.
I can see that.
And I like how colorful Wolverine is. You know?
Yeah.
So for me, that's also, there's a lot of gore in Wolverine, which I like a lot. The blood in Wolverine. Moon Knight 3 doesn't have enough blood. It's really sparing. That's what's going to be what puts Wolverine ahead, in my opinion. It's like,
blood.
Sorry why, but I think I probably am cooler in Moon Knight 3 than you are in Wolverine. And Moon Knight is a better character. Also, no offense. But I think everyone could probably agree with me on that for now. Especially with the new Moon Knight, it's really not close.
Yeah.
But Wolverine looks better. I really like the soundtrack of Wolverine. Mr. X is cool. But Wolverine also has, like, 2 side characters. And you're one of them. And you're good. But, like, compared to, like, Gina's iconic, man. Everyone knows her.
Oh, yeah.
Gina and his alternate personalities and all that. Like, Moon Knight's just got more characters. But I hate the way that it looks. I hate how bland it looks. It's really close, honestly, but I think Wolverine just edges it out a little bit with color. But after Wolverine, I'm gonna have to. Oh shit, we totally forgot about Midnight Suns, didn't we? Is that on yours?
Yeah, but that's up there for me.
Okay, I'm gonna put that over Wolverine. Well, no, no. I'm gonna put Senior after Wolverine, the original. I'll put the original Senior after Wolverine.
Mine.
I love how weird it is. I love how strange it is. I love the violence. I love the shock factor. Some of the acting is a little fucky in some scenes, um, and some it also struggles with color a little bit. But I really like the trippiness of it in some scenes, and it's was really fun to make a movie about a villain. Like it's not something people do a lot, and I had a lot of fun with that. I think it has a really cool story and a really trippy one at that. It has a better story than Wolverine. It has a better story than all other of the three.
Yeah, I love the plot of it so much.
I love the plot of it too. Um, I love Sin Eater as a villain, and especially translating over into Spider-Man. Like he just gets even better. He just gets more and more intimidating and fun and fucked up. But that's the soundtrack of it. I love the uncanniness of it. I love how like analog horror shit almost gets it sometimes. Like it's fucking creepy, dude.
It's so creepy.
Like we all watched it at the watch party, and some people were like genuinely unsettled by some of it. Like Dalton's like, "What the fuck is going on?" But like, that's where I get into my grievances. Some of the acting is meh. Like especially from like the original part of it, where like they're in the Ozarks and like his grandpa and like the people in the village, their acting is not that great. Um, it can get a little confusing and not in a good way sometimes. The coloring on it is not that great either. One thing that I hate to do, but I do it a lot, but I don't do it as much now, using like VFX for blood instead of actual blood. I don't like doing that, but I did it for that one. But other than that, I can't say there's a villain because the villain is the main character. But there's really no side characters other than James Rosenthal, who's a great side character. Jack Knight played the fuck out of that dude. Um, but I love that movie so much. I love it. Um, I guess if we're gonna like rate like villains in each of them, I mean he is the villain and the hero at the same time, and I think like he does a really good job with that. Like I really like the way I wrote that. Like I know it sounds like I'm the guy on the fucking Amazon review who wrote the 5 stars and was like, yeah, I'm the author and I think I did a good job. But I really think I did. I really think I pulled that off pretty well.
I think you did too, honestly.
All right, my next one I'm gonna go with. Rid of all the ones that I've already got. I'm gonna go with. Oh, that's tough. There's really three that I'm balancing between right now. I think I'm gonna put Midnight Suns next.
Really?
Oh fuck! I didn't want to say that, but I think I am. What are you putting there? What's your next one?
Probably Daredevil.
Fuck. Forgot about that one. Anyway, Daredevil's going there actually. What's your reasoning? I forgot. I keep fucking forgetting about these movies.
1 second, I'm gonna do a quick review here.
Just watching the entire film, but sped up. Let me do a quick review real quick. Injects the film into his fucking brain. Totally forgot Daredevil was part of this.
I couldn't really see myself all that hooked.
On Daredevil?
Yeah.
Dude, now that you say that, I think I'm going to put Daredevil below Moon Knight 3.
Yeah, I couldn't really get hooked.
Yeah, I'm going to put Daredevil there because there's really no story.
Yeah.
There's really no plot.
There's no story to get hooked.
The fight scenes are cool. Like, that's kind of it, really. That's kind of it. Jack Knight doesn't even really do anything as the villain, and Dakota Ramsey as Bullseye sucks. So I'm gonna put I'm gonna fuck this fucking thing all the way back to hell. I'm gonna put Daredevil below Dragon and Tiger 2.
Really?
I am. There's one I should have honestly. I think Dragon Tiger 2 should have been higher. I'm gonna bring this up real quick. I really like the villains in that movie. Both the Hood and Davos are really cool. The fights are
Oh
cool.
yeah,
I think I might put it above Moon Knight 3 actually.
Davos is actually one of my favorite villains.
Davos
in the
is
YTMCU.
pretty kick ass.
Yeah.
Davos is really cool. I love the Hood. I love the colors. Like that movie is like the opposite
Oh, yeah.
of Moon Knight 3. It is so colorful. The costumes are colorful. I also love the characters' personalities. Like I do. I don't like Shang-Chi though. His actors suck. But Brady is awesome as Iron Fist. Even dare I say Dakota Ramsey did good as Spider-Man. Dalton is Meacham. I mean, he's always good as him. That's literally him.
Daryl Meacham.
But I like the plot of that movie. There actually is a story in that movie. And yeah, my list is going to be completely different than how it was before. But anyway, well, I'm going to write yours down. So your bottom one is Dragon and Tiger 1.
Yeah.
What's your one after that?
Um,
I'm trying to like have
probably-
both of our lists here so I can compare them.
Probably. Probably Dragon Tiger 2.
Okay.
And then Daredevil. Then Wolverine. Let's see. Did I say Midnight Chapter 3 yet?
Not yet.
That's next.
Okay. And then Sin Eater, I assume.
Yes.
And then
Dragon Tiger 3.
all right. So now that's what the current one we're on. You're on. So yours is Dragon Tiger 3, and mine is Midnight Suns. Let's talk about yours. Why are you putting it here?
Wait, hang on. How many did I say there were? Or are we in like the top
So
three?
did that one, did that one, did that one. There's 4.
Okay. So
No, 5. There's 5. We're top 5.
so
What we have left is Dragon Tiger 3, Midnight Suns, Hellcat, Moon Knight 4, and Spider-Man. So all the really good ones.
yes.
That's the ones that are left are all the really good ones.
Honestly, not only did I like the plot of Dragon and Tiger 3, I also loved filming it. It was just very fun. I'm pretty sure that was that my first movie?
Do you count Quicksilver?
No.
Then yes. What? Maybe it isn't. Because you were in Midnight Suns first.
Yeah, but that's right. I started filming for Dragon and Tiger 3 first, though.
Yeah,
And then it got
we
released
did.
after.
Yes, you're right.
So
I forgot that we had to split that movie in half, basically, and the Midnight Suns came out in the middle.
yeah,
So, yeah, that was your first. Orson was your first character.
yeah.
And first filming in general.
I love the writing of Orson Randall playing him. The sacrifice scene, dude.
That seems badass.
Yeah, the sacrifice scene that puts it up there alone.
That's a good one. I'm going to talk about Dragon Tiger 3 next because that's my next one, but for now I'm going to talk about Midnight Suns. We should have done this in a different way. I'm not going to lie. Okay. So, I guess I'll just talk about Midnight Suns since we're already where we are. I love Midnight Suns. It's very colorful. There was an aesthetic that I wanted to go for, which was like the heavy metal rock and roll, blood and guts.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what it is.
Yes.
There's metal music playing like every 5 minutes, and vampires and demons and zombies are just getting their heads fucking exploded. The gore, the practical gore is great. We have a lot of real shit. The scene where Moon Knight sticks a fucking branch through a zombie's head. I love that one.
Was that my head?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It was my head.
Yours. 2 of my favorite scenes, like gore things, are both with you. The other one was when the zombie got its head cut off, and we put leaves on top of your head to make it look like your head was in the ground.
Yeah.
Love that one. Let's talk about the characters. Doctor Strange is great. Jack Mike does a damn good job as him. I think he was waiting for that to finally play him as like a solo.
100%.
I mean, I'm Moon Knight. I'm the same guy I always am. I'm just less character driven, but more fighty, which everyone likes to see that. Brady is a great Black Knight. That dude's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Very Jon Snow like. The fight scene between you and him with the swords is really dope. Brady loved that.
I love that.
I will say the other three members of the Midnight Suns are kind of boring. Hannibal King is not that interesting. He's just a British guy with knives.
Well, Mephisto.
Oh, I'm gonna get to him. I don't like the guy that plays him that much. Like we kind of fell off, but he did really fucking good as Mephisto. He only ever played the one villain really, and he just was awesome. That character was like meant for him. Granted, I think he played the character incorrectly. Like Mephisto's kind of more like quiet and conniving, but for what he changed it to be, he did a really good job with that. That's cool. I like him. That's a good villain. But I don't like Hannibal King. I don't like Man Thing at all. He literally does nothing. And I don't know. I'm half and half on Ghost Rider because like Isaiah was trying to learn, so like he was kind of like in some of the scenes he wasn't super good. But when he was Ghost Rider, I liked him, even though I kind of nerfed the fuck out of Ghost Rider and he didn't really do a lot. That's okay though. I'm gonna fix that. But yeah, I think the real highlights are Strange, Mephisto, and Black Knight. I would say Moon Knight, but I mean he's already good in other roles, so I really don't need to talk about him here. I love the music in that movie. It's so awesome. The fight scenes are fucking kick ass.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack. I love the plot. It's like an adventure to get to hell. And I like the scene that I really like is the fight between Strange and Mephisto, the poker game, because that's like one of the first times they don't actually have like a fist fight between the hero and the villain. They fucking play poker, and it's a game of intelligence and strategy, which I love that.
Yes.
So that's what my next pick is. Now I'm gonna go with Hellcat.
Yeah, that's mine.
I mean, it's pretty simple. It's a hero's origin story.
Mm-hmm.
First time we had a female character, which is really cool. She's fun. I think Kendall really plays her well. I mean, she's like literally her. I love Hellcat.
Literally her.
Yeah. One thing I love about Hellcat, like some people you can tell are like playing a character, and like you're like, okay, the character's fine. She's one of those actors who like makes that character fun.
Yeah, she's her.
Yeah, like I'm Moon Knight. Ben is Spider-Man. Brady's Iron Fist. Wyatt is Wolverine. She's Hellcat. That's the people that like make that character them, and like it's perfect. It's like watching a character is one thing, and being like, oh, I hope the story goes well, but it's another one where you're actively rooting for that character to like win.
Yeah.
And like Hellcat's one of those characters that we're like, I really hope that she doesn't die. And like I like Hellcat. Her supporting cast is fine, but Blind Spot sucks. And by supporting cast, I basically just mean Hyperion and Jessica Jones. They're cool. I won't count Daredevil because he doesn't really do much. Luke Cage is awesome. Glad to have him. What I like about this movie is it kind of tackles like the element of that Hellcat is like an up and coming hero in the city, and like she just meets all these other heroes, and they just start becoming friends with her, and she's like, yeah, cool, I'm happy. And the villain, Black Tarantula, it's pretty personal in the fact that he's her ex-husband, and it's not like, oh, a grandiose villain is here to kill me, or like some gory villain is around to kill me. It's like I have a personal beef with this man because he is obsessed with me. Like that's something I've literally never explored. I was like, I'm gonna make this villain like personal to her character. It's like with Moon Knight's Bushman was like a guy that they had known each other and they had beef. Green Goblin was a guy that wanted to ruin Spider-Man's life. Mr. X was like a random guy that Wolverine had fought. But like Hellcat,
this one was real.
This dude was like, she knew him. She's known him her whole life basically. She loved him, and he's a fucking psychopath. And she's like, she didn't even want to fight him. But then when the moment of realization, when she realizes it's him, it's like heartbreaking. And while she's like, man, she's got a lot of thoughts on her mind. Like, maybe I'm responsible for how he is now. Like, I like that little retrospection. Like, a lot of heroes, like, in our movies, don't really care about the villains really that much. Like, Spider-Man's like, oh, I wish I could help him. And Moon Knight's like, damn, I wish I could throw him off the roof. And Wolverine's like, I don't give a fuck. Hellcat actually cares, like, on another level about her Black Tarantula. Granted, does she want to be with him anymore? Fuck, no. Especially not after that. But I'm sure she thinks of him. And the aesthetic is fun. It's girly pop. I know, it's not something that I should be like, whoa, that shit's fucking great. But, like, I mean, it's something a woman would enjoy. A strong female character who isn't flawless. She has flaws. That's one thing I wanted to make, because a lot of people hate when they make a female character and she's just like invincible.
Yeah, like perfect, like
Yeah.
just overpowered.
Hellcat's not perfect. I mean, she gets killed twice. She comes back to life because the god that like gives her powers finds her pluck to be impressive. And like Hellcat, even power, like even personality wise, she's not flawless. I mean, her friends notice that she has flaws. I mean, if she drove away the person she loved, but at the end of the day, her willingness to be a hero and to be a good person is strong. And like that's what makes her overpower her weaknesses. And like I love the costumes; they're colorful. The villains are cool. The villain is cool. The hero's cool. You get to see a couple more villains that have some cool screen time. And there's just a lot there, you know. I think it deserves how many views it's got. It's got almost 2,000 views, and I'm like, that's pretty awesome that it does. Like, I'm glad because I really like it. It's nothing crazy. Like, it's not a final dramatic tale like Moon Knight 4, and it's not super dark or super violent, but it's just it's personable. It's like
I like it.
she's like a female Spider-Man. You know, she's someone that you can relate to. I mean, she's just a woman that just wants to really like superheroes, and then when she gets powers, she's like, oh fuck, I don't even know what to do with all this shit. And so she spends her whole thing figuring out who to be and what to do. And then it just so happens that one of her villains is her ex-husband. And she's like, wow, she's realizing just how hard it is to be a hero when all this stuff is on the plate. You know, and I like that. Anyway,
It is nice.
you like that? What about you? Everything that I said.
Pretty much everything you said. Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head.
Thank you. All right, what do you got next?
Are we in our top three?
All we have left now is.
For me, Midnight Suns.
You have Midnight Suns. I have Dragon Tiger 3. And the two are Spider-Man and Moon Knight. So, what would you like to do next? I'm gonna go with Dragon and Tiger 3 here.
I'm going with Midnight Suns.
Okay, I will let you go first.
Midnight Suns is in my top three is like almost tied. I love Midnight Suns just because the pure blood. I love the soundtrack. The fight scenes are insane.
Dude, I love Midnight Suns. It's fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of time filming it. Pretty much, there's a few scenes where we got the entire game together.
That was the best part.
Yeah,
the best part because we haven't really done it since.
100%. Yeah, we're all just together, just filming, and I got to play a lot. I got to play Demon. That's where I got to play Hitler.
Evil incarnate.
Yes. It was just very fun to shoot. Also very fun to watch.
I love that movie is the one that brought us back, man. We were all going to quit.
Yeah.
And then Jack Mack was talking about like, yeah, man, I'm losing weight. I'm starting to look good in the costume. And I was like, bro, let's just fucking do Midnight Suns. He's like, what? I was like, let's do it. He's like, do you think we can? I was like, let's fucking try. And then everyone got together and we made Midnight Suns. It took a while, but man, it was worth the wait.
Honestly, yeah.
It was an incredibly fun project. That's one of the movies that I think I've watched the most. Like, it's just fun to watch. The sound, the music goes hard, and the characters are just fucking beating the shit out of the zombies and demons. And, like, you learn about the characters, like, you know them. Like, it's cool. It's cool, man. Anything else?
Pretty much just love the blood, especially.
The gore is fun.
Yeah, the gore is fun. It's fun to watch.
I was like, if we're going to bring us back, we need to get bloody with it. And we did. My favorite shot in the whole thing is when Ghost Rider stomps that zombie's head in, and the blood splatters all over his skull.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit's badass. All right, for here, I'm going to go with the Dragon and Tiger 3. That's my pick. Firstly, let's talk about the soundtrack for that movie is really good.
I do like it.
Street fight vibes, which that's basically what Danny and Shang are. They're street fighter martial artists.
Mm-hmm.
I like all the characters. I love Iron Fist. Iron Fist is at his peak here. He's matured, but he's had to go through the death of like someone that he loves, and like you get to see him grieve, but you also get to see him grow. Shang, he's going through, he's confused now because his brother, who he thought was dead, is back, and his brother is now trying to resurrect his father, who abused him as a child. He's going through it. Spider-Man, he's there for both of them. He's their friend. Meacham, he's dead, but we find out that he spent his last dying breaths trying to protect Danny from what could have happened to him.
Yeah.
And that's such king shit right there.
I love that. I love that part.
Orson is a fucking awesome character. He's a mentor who he goes through his own ordeal of things, and he's a character who only is around for one movie, but his death feels like it's justified to happen. Like some characters, they show up and they die way too fast. Like Orson, I was
Like he was,
it's all right.
Yeah, you can be satisfied.
I was like, I was like, okay, his death, I wasn't mad about it, because like we through like flashbacks and everything, we know his full story. He became an Iron Fist. He adopted a kid. The kid wanted to become the Iron Fist. He said, "Hey man, you can't do it. It's hard in your mind. It's hard in your body." The kid went and did it anyway. And when eventually the kid died, Orson was like, "Man, this is all my fault. It's got to be me. I'm the reason for this." He becomes an alcoholic. But he still has the powers in his body. And one day when he finds out that there's another one, he looks for him. And when he finds out it's the adopted son's kid, he's like, "Fuck, I am obligated to teach this kid what to do so that he doesn't have to go through what either of us went through and die like he did or die like I will eventually die." And when Orson's like, "All right, man, I put you through the ropes," and he's like, I've lived the life I've needed to live. Like you're where you got to be now." And Orson dies like proud. He's like, "I did what I had to do, and that's all I got." And the kid's doing what he's got to do, so I'm good.
It's definitely one of the most satisfying deaths.
I love Orson's character arc, man. It's beautiful. What else? Doctor Strange. I mean, he doesn't really do much. He's just kind of there. But that's fine. He doesn't need to be there. It's cool to see him though. Takeshi is really cool. He's not the strongest villain out there. Like he's just a guy with swords at the end of the day. He's basically just a less powerful version of Mr. X. But what really shines for him is his character. Like he's a troubled kid. He just wants his family back, man. That's all he wants. Like he hears the voice of his father who passed away, and he's like, he just wants to impress his father and to be there and to be loved by his father. And he's like, I want my brother back. I want to have my brother. You know, I want us to all be together. Like it's all he wants, man. It's just his family. I kind of feel bad for the dude. I wouldn't say he's an intimidating villain, really, but he's definitely a smart one and a very emotionally charged one. And that kind of makes up for his lack of ability. It's like you like the guy. Zhang Zhu, he's kind of boring. He's powerful. I mean, shit. He's really strong. He's one of the strongest villains, but at the same time, he's also one of the least interesting ones. Because, like, yes, we find out that he's like a mystical sorcerer who died a long time ago, and that he has 2 sons. Like, when he comes back, all he wants is to just roll over the fucking world. That's all he wants. It's what everyone wants. And despite how strong he was, like, even I tried to add the cool effects and the cool music to his fight, but at the end of the day, I can't. And Isaac did good at acting. Let's not get that misconstrued here. Isaac didn't do bad, but at the end of the day, what the circumstances were, it just was not going to be interesting. Like we've seen that character so many times. Like a guy wants to rule the world. I mean, you've already seen it in Dragon and Tiger. The Hood wanted to do the same fucking thing. The Hood was just more sassy and was kind of more interesting. Was the Hood as OP? No, but the Hood did have some interesting character to him. Like not Isaac. Fuck, I'm gonna say the actor. The character he was playing, Zhang Zhu. Yeah, literally him. Zhang Zhu was like, "Yes, I'm stronger than you, and you should join me, Shang, and we could rule the world." Like, come on, man, that's lame. At least the Hood was like, "I just want to fucking kill everybody so I can sell drugs to people." Even though I think what's interesting about Dragon and Tiger, like the second and the third are like so similar, but like they're better and worse each other in different ways. Like if you really think about it,
3's a lot better.
3 is better, but like they have a similar plot. These 2 guys are going after these 2 villains who are kind of working together, and are both after each of them. Right. You heard of them? Like Davos, the young kid who thinks that he should have what his brother had, or Takeshi is like the same thing, but worse. Zhang Zhu and the Hood. The Hood, I want to rule the world and have my empire. Zhang Zhu, the same thing, but worse. But it's just that. Everything else about 3 is better, but the villains are just weaker. The only thing the villains in 3 have over the other 2 is that they're more developed, except for the fact that Zhang Zhu is not. Davos is more developed than Takeshi by a long shot. No, sorry, the other way around. Takeshi is more developed than Davos by a long shot. But the Hood is a lot more developed than Zhang Zhu is. But if you take the villain factor, everything about 3 is better. All the characters are just better. Orson is cool. Danny and Shang are both better. Shang's got a better actor. Spider-Man is more interesting. Strange is less interesting, actually. But Meacham is extremely interesting. And I feel like the plot and the emotions, it's a fun ride, man. It's a fun movie. All you got? Is that all you got?
Yeah, honestly.
I talk way too much. All right. What's your next one?
Next one. Oh, in between.
Spider-Man and Moon Knight are the last two.
I'm gonna go with.
All right, man. What's your reasoning? Let's get it.
Man, depicts the mental illness so well.
I'm crazy, man. I'm crazy, bro. I'm crazy. I'm gonna have to cut that one out later on.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fuck!
So yeah, it just depicts the mental illness perfectly. Fight scenes are on point. Everything just seems on point. What played my role in it? What played Nemean?
We should rewatch that sometime.
Yeah,
we need to do that again.
The vampire origin stories, and the arguments with between the vampires.
Oh yeah.
And then coming back together again because
I love the characters.
Yes, there's like a siblinghood in between the vampires, but they're also like the main villains.
Yeah. I love the vampires. That was one of my favorite parts of it. Is those three and Tudor.
Yeah.
I love how they all have a completely different reasoning to be there. Like Nemean just wants to kill people.
Yeah, he's just bored.
Grand Maul is just trying to work on his skills. Bloodhunter, she just wants to make Tudor happy.
Nemean just doesn't care. I feel like Nemean was so bored the whole movie when he wasn't killing people. It's hilarious.
You can see it in his face. He's just like,
yeah, like, oh, do I have to be here?
I should be ripping people's fucking balls off right now, bro. What am I doing?
Yeah, for real.
I'm surprised you have Spider-Man over this movie, bro.
Really?
I really am.
I might be incredibly biased.
That's fair. I mean, I'm sure you enjoyed Venom a whole hell of a lot. You know what? Since Spider-Man is my number 2, and Spider-Man is number 1, and Moon Knight is my number 2, let's just compare those two movies. And call that. Yeah.
With our top one?
Well, Spider-Man is your top 1, and Spider-Man is my second top. Moon Knight 4 is your second, and Moon Knight is my top. So let's just talk about those two movies and compare them. And that can be the final part of this whole thing.
Was Spider-Man where Wyatt got like his foot in the door, kinda? Was that his first movie? I don't remember. I think Wolverine was first. I think they were filmed around like the same time because we were filming like 2 at once. Oh yeah.
I think we were filming those 2 at the same time. I remember me and Brady kept arguing over who he thought was more fun to play. I was like, he likes Green Goblin more, and Brady was like, he likes Wolverine more. And I was like, why? What do you think? He's like, oh, fucking no. I was like, okay. Yeah, let's compare Moon Knight and Spider-Man since those are the big 2.
I like the Also, I kind of like the color in Spider-Man. I love the gritty vibes of Moon Knight a lot. But I feel like, in my opinion, in the gritty, I would choose a 9 out of 10 gritty film over a 9 out of 10 sort of colorful vibe film. But I would take a 10 out of 10 colorful film over a 10 out of 10 gritty film.
Interesting.
And it just catches my eye, you know?
Yeah, Spider-Man is very attractive to look at.
Like, they're both like 10 out of 10 in my book, though.
I don't want to sound like that gay or whatever, but I really think those two are like so close together.
Yeah.
Like, they both have a really fun main character. They both have a really fun group of side characters, like
fun villains.
The soundtracks are both good. The fight scenes are both good. It's just really hard to pick. And like both have emotional moments. Like, Spider-Man he goes through Stanley ends up dying. He has this push and pull going on between whether he should protect Green Goblin from the Sin Eater or if he should just let the Sin Eater kill him. You know, because he's like, I don't want people to die, but I know either way someone is going to die from this. Whereas Moon Knight's whole emotional pool is basically just stopping whoever is killing all these people, which ends up being Tutor. The villain, Spider-Man has two villains actually, which is interesting. Whereas Moon Knight, the three vampires aren't really the main villains, but they are side villains. If you want to pick one of them to be the second main villain, it's basically Bloodhunter. But
it's really like Tutor.
Yeah, Tutor's really like the big bad. It's really hard to pick in Spider-Man who's like the big bad, because like they both are. Like Green Goblin, I mean, his whole thing is he just wants to fuck Spider-Man's life over. And Sin Eater's whole thing is he just wants to fucking kill Green Goblin.
I love that scene of the Sin Eater and Green Goblin face off.
Yeah, dude, I love that. I love when villains fight each other. Something about the whole concept of that is just fun.
Yeah.
Like, two D1 haters of the hero going after each other is pretty funny. I've always loved that about certain things.
Also, shooting that was hilarious. I want to out Wyatt, but man, it took Wyatt like 20 tries on one of the lines, and I was laughing the whole time.
That's so funny. I'm sure in your case you probably picked Venom over Nemean.
Yeah,
that's fair. Venom's fun.
Plus, I loved Venom's introduction, shall I say?
Yes, the scene where you get shot and you like get back up.
Yeah,
that scene's fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty evenly matched for me. If I had to go hero, if I had to pick between Spider-Man and Moon Knight, I'm gonna pick Moon Knight, because like Dakota Ramsey is good as Peter Parker, but he's not as good as Spider-Man. Ben is Spider-Man.
Yeah, Ben's literally Spider-Man.
Whereas I am all four of Mark's personalities. You want to talk about villain? Tutor is a very sympathetic villain. Like, you feel for the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to help his son.
Yeah.
But, like, the Spider-Man villains are just fucking crazy, and you love it. Green Goblin's just like, fuck you, Spider-Man, I want to kill you. And Sinister's like, fuck you, Green Goblin, I want to kill you. And you can feel for both of them, because they're both mentally unstable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Norman, he's struggling with his own voices in his head, like, how can I stop myself from killing Spider-Man and wanting to kill Spider-Man? And Sin Eater's like, dude, how do I stop myself from wanting to kill everybody?
Yeah.
And I feel like Sin Eater is a better villain than Tutor. Green Goblin, they're probably the same, probably. Maybe not as good. I feel like when it comes to acting, it doesn't really matter. Because like Ben's acting as Tutor is good, and Wyatt's acting as Green Goblin is good. But they're both the same. But then you have to look into like backstory motivation. And Tutor's is a good motivation.
Yeah, I like Tutor's better, honestly.
Green Goblin's isn't really that complex. He just wants to fuck with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But Sin Eater, his whole thing is different.
Mental illness.
He has a mental illness that makes him think that he turns into someone else to kill innocent people that he thinks are sinners. And he has the undying drive to kill, like, one dude. Like, to me, that's more interesting than Tutor. Sure, I feel for them in a different way. Like, I feel bad for Tutor because of the situation he's going through. But at the same time, like, he can stop himself from doing what he's doing. He just thinks that's what he has to do. Stanley cannot stop the Sin Eater from coming out, man. He can't control that. I feel bad for him because it's not his choice. You want to go with I almost said aura. You want to go with intimidation factor here. I mean, fucking Tutor had to get a power up to beat Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Stanley was out here mollywopping motherfuckers for fun.
Sin Eater is, I'd say Sin Eater is definitely more intimidating in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Also, his design, like, he's just a dude in a ski mask and a trench coat with his fucking gun.
Shotgun, yeah.
And he can take your soul with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the guy that was taking a beating from Venom on multiple occasions. And was like, going to kill Green Goblin before Spider-Man stopped him. Like, he was going to kill him. Tutor had to drink Moon Knight's blood to beat him. Sure, he did one thing, which was insane, which was he fucking killed Moon Knight. But again, had a power to do so. Also, just like the aura, dare I say it, the aura behind Sin Eater is just something else, man. That dude is just a crazy villain. I love him. That's a character that I will always miss playing, and that's one I think about all the time. Side characters. I mean, Venom is that dude. Eddie Brock is fun. Um, Rutherford and Soldier and Gina are Moon Knight's gang. Granted, there's three of them compared to one Venom, and like I think all of them combined are better than Venom, but one on one, he's better than all three of them. Um, the fight scenes, oh, they're so hard to pick between because there's a lot more fight scenes in Moon Knight, but the Spider-Man ones are really good. Like I love the Venom fights, especially.
I love the. I like the. Okay, so I want to say I like the gore in the fight scenes in Moon Knight better, but I love the moves in Spider Man.
Yeah, there's definitely like Spider-Man's fights oozes like a style. Where Moon Knight just kind of like beats the shit out of people. Like he doesn't really fight that like crazily. Where Spider-Man, he's doing like flips and dodges, and characters are like swinging and using powerful like blasts of energy and the webs and stuff. Moon Knight just like beats the fuck out of you. He doesn't care. He just starts boxing your ass. I definitely think both of those movies portray the vibes of the characters well. Like Spider-Man, colorful, stylistic, fun. Moon Knight, dark, gritty, edgy. I mean, it's perfect. I think at the end of the day, it really just depends on what you prefer. Like for me, of course, I'm going to go with Moon Knight because I like the dark style. I like his emotional character beats. Um, I'd say Moon Knight is more fulfilling to watch, but Spider Man might be more fun to watch.
That's a good point. Honestly, that's a good point.
It's really hard to pick because, like, with Spider Man, you're looking at this really fun, exciting, colorful style. The characters are fun. Spider Man's he's a goofy goofball. He likes to fuck with people.
Moon Knight is death.
Moon Knight's just like, man, I'm gonna rip out your heart now. What? Yeah. I mean, and then the side. It's funny. It's funny. Think about this. Spider Man, he's goofy, but his side character is this big buff edgelord who wants to rip people in half. Moon Knight, big buff edgelord wants to rip people in half. His side characters are goofy. They're these regular ass people.
Yeah.
Besides Rutherford, but Gina and Soldier are like chill. They don't care. It's funny. But yeah, I mean, I'm biased, of course. I'm gonna go with Moon Knight because like that's the last Moon Knight movie. That's his thing, man. And I feel like I tied up the loose ends of that very well. You're gonna see more of Spider-Man. He's got like 2 more movies coming out, but Moon Knight, yeah, that's it for him, man. He's gonna be either in other people's movies or like other ensemble movies, but you won't see a Moon Knight 5, you know.
Yeah.
But there's 2 more Spider-Man movies that me and Ben are working on right now, which you're gonna love. You're in both of them.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
that.
Hell yeah. Venom's gonna come back.
You're gonna see a lot more of me. I thought that's another thing. I thought I was gonna quit when I went to basic training and everything. I thought I was gonna quit the YTMCU and everything like that. Let's just say I highly overestimated, I guess, how busy I was gonna be. I was still very busy with college and all that, but I'm taking a break from all that this semester, and I'm just returning back to college next year just to find out what I want to do and stuff like that. And I cannot be more proud to be back.
Hey man, I'm happy you are. As soon as you said you were, I started cooking.
Yeah.
I got like 5 roles for this guy.
Oh yeah, can't wait to play him.
2 villains, 2 heroes. Yeah man, it'll be fun. And I'm sure I'll make more. And luckily for him, the movies are pretty small casts, so it'll be more easy to do. Almost an hour and a half. That's how far we've gotten so far. I don't really know if there's anything specific I want to talk about. Out of all the YTMCU characters, who's your favorite?
Of all YTMCU, you know I gotta be biased on this one, bro.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Venom.
Hell yeah, I like Venom. He's in my top 5.
It's probably Venom, Moon Knight. I'd probably only say my top 3. Venom, Moon Knight, probably Spider-Man, honestly.
All right, top 3 villains. Who you got?
Oh, define villain.
Like the bad guy.
Oh, the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah, not like side villain. Well, I mean, I guess you could say side villain if you wanted to.
I'd say Sin Eater.
Easy dub.
Yeah.
That one was definite.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna pick him.
Um,
That's just how it works.
I really liked Tudor's reasoning and I guess lore. He did all that just for his son to get out of the hospital. Uh, I'm trying to think.
It's crazy that, man, the one dude who he thought was going to ruin it all was the one that saved his son's life. Moon Knight fixed that little bro.
Was my second? I feel like
You said Davos is one of them.
Davos is probably top 5, honestly. But I'm gonna have to go with. No, Davos is third. Davos is third.
You want to do this retrospective with me that I always do with the guys? So we literally go by like all the movies that they've seen, and we just like we don't like rank them, but we just talk about like what we think about the villains, like in each of them. So you said you saw Dragon Tiger 1. We won't count that shit.
No. I don't really remember what happens.
Which ones do you remember? We can just talk about the ones from this phase if that's fine.
Yes.
Like everything from Midnight Suns forward, we can talk about because like I'm sure you remember all of them.
Yes.
Okay, so then with that case, we'll start with Mephisto.
Mephisto?
And we'll get your thoughts on Mephisto first. I love doing that.
Love the acting, hate the actor.
Yeah, the actor really kind of pissed us all off, so we fired him. So.
Yeah.
But great character.
Yeah. Powers. He was insanely powerful. Needed an entire team to beat him.
And then, yeah, I mean, he was wiping the floor with literally all of them.
Yeah. And he was doing it almost effortlessly, like laughing while he does it.
Yeah, bro, he literally caught Black Knight's sword and was like, lose it. Yeah, man. No, like, Gabe did a really good job with that. Also, it was nice to have a villain who was just, like, pure evil.
Yeah.
Literally, like, the devil. Who comes after him? I believe it's Zhangzu and Takeshi from Dragon Tiger 3. What do you think about those two Jones?
Takeshi. This is dude with the swords, right?
Correct. Zhangzu is the blue-robed guy with the magic powers.
Honestly, they're all right.
Yeah, that's probably what I would say too.
Yeah, I wouldn't really.
I don't
I
think
wouldn't
they're
really put them
comparable to the other villains of that caliber.
At least of this phase.
Yeah, this phase has some good villains. Speaking of good villains, Mr. X from Wolverine.
Oh.
The murderous sociopath assassin with the nanobots and the carbonadium swords.
I love the powers.
Hell yeah. Only has like one really crucial thing.
Honestly?
Pain tolerance.
Yes. Kind of mid in my book.
No, yeah. I will say, I mean, you don't really know much about the guy. We just know that he worked for Weapon X and wanted to kill Wolverine, and that he really likes children a little bit too much.
No, for real.
He was definitely a villain that you wanted to see die, because like he's a fucking prick. And so when Wolverine stabs him in the head, you're like, oh yeah, nice. He's fucking dead. That frame is like lodged into my mind. Just. But I do love his personality, even though he's terrible, a fucking terrible person. But I love his like the way he fights and like how he like just like is a prick to Wolverine all the time. He's like, bro, you suck. What the fuck? You're telling me this is Wolverine, bro? You suck. You're mid.
Love how he was just watching him from a distance.
Literally.
Oh yeah, I'm like, how old was she?
He's so creepy, dude.
I know.
Dude, when he started like fucking up Wolverine, I could already tell some people were like, ah.
Yes.
Because he had the one weakness that Wolverine had, which is carbonadium swords, and like the pain tolerance and everything. Like he wasn't gonna go down. That's how he was like completely like disemboweled by Wolverine. That's what Wolverine did though to beat him. He stabbed all of his organs and then fucking stabbed through the brain. Like, he wasn't coming back from that. On to that. Sin Eater and the Green Goblin.
Well,
I gotta hear your thoughts on that one.
I like Green Goblin, but I love Sin Eater. Sin Eater, his tragic backstory, and why he does what he does. Honestly, that alone kind of tops Green Goblin.
Yeah, I think his is just like a more complex version of what Green Goblin goes through.
Yeah.
Or at least it's explained.
Yes. Green Goblin, I feel like his powers are more equipment based.
Yeah, I feel like Green Goblin wouldn't be who he is without his power, like his bombs and the sword and stuff.
But with Sin Eater, it's pretty much, I feel like the mental illness almost kind of guides him.
Yeah, real. Sin Eater is like a whole other being.
Yeah.
One thing I loved about Sin Eater was like in the comic that I got, it's literally called Sin's Rising. So there you go. But anyone that he shot with his gun, he could take their powers.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna use that shit. So now he had like the sonic beams of Claw and the heat vision and
stealing their
all that
souls.
stuff. I was like, yeah, man. It's like, and what I loved also, which kind of provided a fun bit with Venom, you couldn't really take his powers because it's like a symbiote. So like, it's not really gonna work. But I love
it's him. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like it's just not gonna work. But I loved doing Sin Eater a second time around. He was such a fun character. I absolutely love him.
very fun to watch.
I'm gonna say this to you guys: you will see him in a movie again, but it's a prequel, so he won't be like super important, but he will be in it. So I'm sure you'll be happy about that, just to see him one more time.
This is my first time hearing about this. I'm definitely happy.
Oh yeah, dude, he's in it. With that, who's next? I believe Black Tarantula from Hellcat. The crazy ex-husband with the fucking superpowers.
Can't really. I will not elaborate. But
I got
dude,
you.
that's crazy though.
I feel like it's such a fun concept. Like, it's something I've never tackled.
That's a crazy concept. Like, oh my god, it's the ex-husband and the main protagonist.
And he now wants to murder her because he has superpowers.
Yes.
Well, it's funny because like he's like a simp. His whole thing is like, I want her to kill me, so I don't hurt her. Like, man, shut the fuck up, you nerd. But like at the same time, like he's kind of scary, low key. Like he killed Speed Demon, just straight up evaporated the dude's brain. Like, shit, man.
Love that.
And that leads us to the last four: the vampires and Tudor. I want to hear your thoughts on those four. You can take it one by one if you got it.
I'll start with Grand Maul.
How did I know you were going to say him first? It's because he's got the least to him.
To be honest, I feel like he wasn't as bonded
to the other two.
Yeah, to the other two.
Yeah, he was like cold almost to him.
Yeah, but he was kind of also like that older brother.
Yeah,
he gave that older brother vibe of like, stop fighting.
Yeah, like they would listen to him.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
And also, yeah, he was interesting. I like Grand Maul. I like his powers too.
The lightning.
Yeah,
I love the three vampires because I just gave them other powers besides the regular vampire shit, and that made them so much more fun.
Yes, and Blood Hunter. Blood Hunter.
You didn't see that.
No, I did not. Oh no, I will not speak of that. Blood Hunter. She was cool. She was their sister. Like the scythe. The scythe, the weapon was cool.
I love her weapon, the scythe and the battle axe.
Yeah, and the moves she did with it, they were so cool in my opinion.
I'm sure she'd be happy to hear that. She was very nervous as to if those would look good or not.
Really?
Yeah, she's like, I don't know if that looks good. Like, I don't know how to fight. And I was like, just go with the flow, man.
It looks good. It looked very smooth, honestly.
Sweet.
Neemian, just honestly, just on the hunt for blood. Not like Blood Hunter, but Just
in a different way.
yes, in a completely different way. I liked how bored he was of just not killing people because that's all he wanted to do. Where he tore that poor guy's arm off.
Dude, and they smashed his head in.
Yeah, just made you think like, oh, this guy's kind of a freak.
And it started licking his freaking arm.
Yeah, that's
How
freaky.
did you feel about Blood Hunter like also secretly being Mark's love interest?
Yeah, that's insane.
How do you feel about that?
I was like,
I was interested to see how people would react to
no,
that, finding out that.
when I saw that, I was like, oh, my jaw hit the floor.
Yeah, Mark's new girlfriend is actually one of the main villains of the
Yeah.
movie, who's out to kill him. She doesn't even know that he's Moon Knight.
Yes, at first I was confused, and then as the movie started to go on, I was like, okay, I see what's going on here.
Yep. They both fell in love with each other, didn't even know that they were super people.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, the reveal.
When Mark opens the bag and it's her freaking cloak, he's just like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for Mark, though.
And that last fight they had, he didn't even fight back. He was just like, he couldn't do it, man. You know what I love about it, though? She stayed with him. They worked it out.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love that.
I mean, if anybody was going to, like, those two paired up, it'd be perfect, because, Mark grew up being, like, a violent person, and he became a mercenary so he could fucking kill people. Because he thought that's what, like, made him happy. And Blood Hunter was, like, the same thing. And so when she, like, realized that her violent tendencies had finally hurt someone she, like, actually cared about, like, who better to help her with that than someone who's been through the same thing? And I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's another thing I got to tell you about that later. But Tudor, last villain.
Powerful as hell.
Tudor was fun. I kept him in the dark a lot. Like, you couldn't see what he did until that very last fight, and then he was, like, OP as hell for no reason.
Yeah.
Tendrils coming out of his back, fucking regeneration,
very
super
hard
speed.
To fight against.
Yeah.
If I do say so myself.
He may be, like, the most powerful villain that we've done. Other than Mephisto, but I won't count him. I mean, yeah, he can regenerate. He can have his limbs ripped off and survive. He can create tentacles from his back to grab people. Super speed, super strength. He can turn into a swarm of bats. He can teleport. Like,
just so powerful.
Yeah, that's a vampire right there, bro. Let me tell you. But yeah, man. The next couple we got going on, they get even more powerful, which is crazy. Like the next few villains are even more powerful than him. Literally, the one from Hyperion is more powerful than him. Like, already. Like, she's insanely strong.
I love that.
Like, I mean, she's got to be strong to be fighting him, because he can literally, like, punch countries into...
Hyperion himself is overpowered.
Right. Like, he would solo the entire YTMCU roster up until this point.
Yeah.
He's just that guy, you know? Anything else you got to say, man? I kind of ran out of ideas.
Honestly, I got nothing.
Well, man, good we had a little talk here, man. It was good.
Yeah, it was very fun talking to you. Talking about the YTMCU.
We'll definitely do this again when he gets more roles, so then we can discuss that.
Yeah.
But I'm about to tell him, I'm about to lay him out some cool information about some upcoming stuff. So, all right, guys, thank you all for listening, and we'll see you later on.
I love you all.
Bye, guys.